Good evening YouTube, this is Brave Counsel and welcome to today's quick crypto briefing. If you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe. But with that being said, let's get straight into today's briefing. So we go first of all to CoinMarketCap then, and we see the overall market cap standing around 250 billion US dollars, 24-hour volume of $57 billion and a Bitcoin dominance of 55%. Top 10 coins this week then, we've seen negative across the board pretty much. Standout coins for me have to be Litecoin in a positive sense. The halving approaching 58 days and counting. Will it continue to rise, or will we see the smart money start to leave the space in the run up to the halving? Second one on the not so positive side would have to be the EOS coin this week. After a stellar run up for the last month or so, getting around $8.50 at a high, we now see it back down to $6.29. It's going to be very interesting to see whether this coin continues down or whether it can regain some of those losses and potentially go even higher. So the three main topics we're going to be covering off this evening include, first of all, the Vancouver ATM. The mayor of Vancouver wants to ban them. Secondly, what to expect when the IRS alters its Bitcoin tax policy. And finally, the main topic of the evening, the Facebook coin. People talking about it potentially launching on the 18th of June this year. So we move to the first story then. Vancouver saw its first ever Bitcoin ATM. Now the mayor wants to ban them. This is an article from Daniel Kuhn on the 7th of June. And basically, all the articles, by the way, are in the description of this video, so you can read the entire article. But what I want to point out here in this article is a very interesting read. I thought the fact that this was the first place to have Bitcoin ATMs and now wants to ban them is particularly significant. I think it shows that the cryptocurrency space has developed massively, but also that government in certain areas is becoming particularly anti-cryptocurrency space, wanting to ban ATMs, which at one point were seen as a bit of a joke, a bit of a gimmick, clearly now being taken seriously by government. I think overall they should be encouraging ATMs for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well. That's clearly not what the mayor of Vancouver thinks. If you live in the Canada area, the Vancouver area, I would strongly suggest that you should be petitioning your local politicians, because at the end of the day, this space will only grow with a positive attitude towards it rather than the banning of new technologies. I think that's a particularly poor way of looking at the world. Anyway, moving on to the second article this evening. What to expect when the IRS alters its Bitcoin tax policy. This is an article put together by Anna Baydakova, again from the 7th of June. The takeaway points are, coming guidance from the IRS will address long-standing questions about the tax treatment of cryptocurrency. Secondly, that the tax collector has identified several specific issues it will discuss, including whether investors owe taxes on free crypto they get from a fork. And finally, the industry is also hoping for clarity on a number of other matters, including the tax implications of airdrops, staking, and crypto stored at overseas exchanges. Well, this has been going on for quite some time now, hasn't it, folks? The IRS in America, the Bank of England in the UK, and central banking sectors across the world really struggling to get to grips with how you tax and set tax policy for cryptocurrency, particularly when it can be done in a private transaction. How can you track someone's policy and crypto taxation when there are ways of masking that transaction? It's going to be very interesting to see the IRS's next move. I think that in some respects clarity will be very positive for the space, and we could see a rise in overall market cap. In other respects, depending on the individual country's stance on taxation, could see crypto in a particular country suffer. So if America or the UK or European countries are particularly harsh with crypto, they could see exchanges moving from their countries, startup businesses moving from their countries to more lenient regimes. Very interesting point, and I think it will be very interesting to see how this develops through the rest of 2019. Let me know in the comments what you think about tax policy, what you think about the Vancouver ATM, and what we're about to go into tonight, the main story, the Facebook coin. What do you think about this? How will this affect the crypto space? So final article this evening is the knowledge that the Facebook coin may well release its white paper on June 18th of this year. I think for some people this has come as rather a surprise. I think Facebook have commented that they were going to release a new coin for some time. Did we expect to see it so soon as far as the white paper is concerned? I'm not sure. I think it's taken some by surprise. I think the main thing you've got to think about this here, and this refers back to the original image at the start here, you see the other coins and then the Facebook logo above them. Now, is the image here some sort of point they're trying to make, almost Lord of the Rings like, in the one coin to rule them all? I certainly hope not. I don't think Facebook has got onto this early enough. I think that the established coins, you could say, certainly your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, your XRPs of this world, they've got a hell of a head start on Facebook here. Facebook's a massive company and is assisted, shall we say, by regulators, particularly in America. It's a Silicon Valley startup. It's got a lot going for it. Can it get to the point where it could dominate the other coins, become the one coin to rule them all, so to speak? I'm cynical about that. I think that Facebook, a lot of people have got Facebook's number nowadays. I think 10 years ago, everyone was raving about Facebook. They could only see good in it, only see positive in it. I think that a lot of people now realize that Facebook is a massive vacuum for people's personal data. They don't like what Facebook's doing with their personal information being sold on to other companies. People are looking more and more now for smaller, newer platforms that are set up specifically to keep your information private. I'm thinking about search engines that are set up to privatize your data. Browsers such as the browser I'm using now, the Brave browser. New models of doing things. Rather than giving your information for free, which allows a free service, people are more and more looking into services surrounded by blockchain that will anonymize your data, will privatize the way you surf the web, and hopefully bring back equilibrium between the company and the customer. We're going to have to wait and see how this one develops. I am not scared by it. I think people will have to make up their own mind as to whether Facebook is someone that they can trust with their information, and quite frankly, buying things through Facebook, particularly with a coin that will be set out for remittances, will be set out for purchases. Well, you know what Facebook do with your photos, with your personal information. So why do you think it would be any different with your purchasing information? Why do you think they wouldn't sell that onto a third party, so to speak? Personally, I would rather be using any of the top 10 coins at the moment rather than a Facebook coin. But ultimately, that will be up to the customer to decide. The consumer is king, as they say. So, to wrap up the briefing today's daily briefing, we go to Coin 360. We already said that BTC's dominance was around about 55% at the moment. You can see pretty much across the board a red day, although a lot of the altcoins seem to be doing in the green there if you look towards the far right corner. Certainly the main coins all suffering, bleeding out today. However, is this the drop before the moon? Many people have suggested that BTC's previous charting shows that every time before a large increase it will drop off. Clearly we've moved from a point of lows of down around about the $4,000 mark, all the way up to 9,000, now standing just below that 8,000 mark. Is this a consolidation period? Is it a drop off? I guess we'll get to see in the days to come. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about today's briefing and what's coming in the coming weeks and coming months. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you soon.